Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Indie String podcast. I'm your host, Kay, also known as Indie String on Ravelry. Welcome back to all the returning viewers and welcome to anybody that's trying me out. Thanks so much for giving me a shot. So I wanted to start this week's episode with a little bit of administrative stuff real quick. The prizes will be mailed out from previous CALs this week. Work has slowed down enough that I think I can probably leave for 20 minutes to go to the post office. Today, I was hoping to do it today, but it was crazy. So we're going to try to make time for it this week, and they'll go out and be on their way to you guys. Thanks so much for being patient, and I'll return some of those PMs that I got in Ravelry this week as well with tracking numbers and the like. We do have a current KAL going on this month, our big first KAL, to be honest. I've had some prizes and some other things going on which were great, but the KAL is a sweater KAL. I had some questions, so I just wanted to address those right away. The first is I know someone told me the Stocking Knit Zombies are having a sweater KAL as well, and there's some other stuff going on right now. So I wanted to say, go ahead and at least for my KAL, I don't care how many other KALs you enter. Project spam away, people. I think it's awesome if you can hit one thing and enter it into multiple people's KALs and enter to win prizes. So that was one of the biggest questions that I got. Our KAL that we're having in the Indie Strings group is an adult sweater KAL from September to October. It must be started and finished within that time frame, and it has, that's basically it. You have to be a member of the group. It will all be run on Ravelry because that's the simplest for me in an administrative way. And the prize for that is one pattern up to $10, and then also 4 skeins of Viola, which is this, in the slate colorway, which is beautiful. So, you know, there's some chit-chatting going on. People are talking about what they're going to knit and everything else. It's been really exciting and really fun. So I encourage you guys to come on over, join the group, and start talking about it. And I don't know. I'm just so excited that some people are joining me and are gonna knit along with me. So let's start off with what I finished this week. What I finished is the Daybreak. So here it is. I'll take it off. Daybreak by Stephen West. And I knit the large size, and it's nice and big. Very happy about that. I knit it out of skein merino cashmere sock. This purple is Fig, and the lighter gold color is Make Hay While the Sun Shines. And I really, really like how it turned out. It's super soft. It's awesome. And I might knit another one of these. I did really go to town to try to get done with it so I could start my sweater for the KAL. I think when I last showed it on the podcast, I was right here. So I knit from there down all the way. The pattern called for, I think, 420 yards of a fingering weight. Sorry, that was my phone. Fingering weight for the largest yardage skein, and I had that, and I was not able to complete the border. Now, I didn't check my gauge, so my gauge must be looser than what the pattern called for. So this bottom edging right here, I was supposed to get 7 of these ridges, and I got 3. I still think it looks fine. I mean, no one's going to look at me at work and say, hey, what's going on? That border, it needs to be redone. And I'm not upset about it enough to go get another skein of it. And I will wear it. It's my new shawl pattern for the season. So I'm very excited. We'll put it back on Jackie here. She'll be able to love on it a little bit. So yay, I got something done finally, right? It's been like forever since you guys have actually seen something that I knit. So I love it, and I'm super happy with it. So what am I working on? The first thing I'm working on is my sweater for the sweater KAL. So I am knitting Leaving by Ann Hansen. This was in the Twist Collective in 2010. So a long time ago. Feels like a long time ago. Probably not that long. And I finished a sleeve. So I'm knitting this out of Madeline Tosh Sport in the vanilla bean colorway, and this is my sleeve. I always stall out on my sleeves, so I decided to do I'm going to do both my sleeves first, so I can't stall in theory. But this is the sleeve detail at the bottom, and that's the cuff. I really love it. I was a little apprehensive because this is a variegated skein of yarn, and I'm super happy with it. I'm happy that it's still showing off the pattern very well. I like the fabric that I'm getting, and I actually did get gauge, and I did a gauge swatch and everything. So I got gauge, and it's right. So one sleeve down, and we'll start the next sleeve this week. So on our way, super excited. The only bump in the road that I can see is this calls for 6 skeins of Madeline Tosh and Sport. And it's one of the big beefs I have with Madeline Tosh is every single time I order a sweater quantity, if it's not directly from Madeline Tosh, they have never matched. So of course, going along with that theme, I have 5 this time. This is the colorway, the vanilla bean colorway, that match pretty well. I mean, they're not perfect, but they match pretty well. And then I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but this one over here is not as saturated at all. It is significantly different to the naked eye. So what I've decided to do, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it, is I'm going to knit both the sleeves. So I'll start the other one, knit both the fronts, and then I'm going to alternate on the back with this one. And then if I have any left over, I will seam with it. And then I'll do the collar in one of the matching colors. It's the only thing I can really think to do. I'll have to alternate in the back. I'll alternate the others. I hate alternating sleeves, so I don't know why, but it's just something. I hate sleeves, so anything that makes the sleeve more difficult, I really don't like. So I will not alternate that one, but I'll alternate the front panels and the back, and I don't want that skein that doesn't match the other ones on like my front panel right here near my face. Because when you put the sweater together, you're really going to notice that in comparison to this panel over here. It's much better to have it on the lower back. And then what I'll do is I'll probably do at least half the back with it. And depending on how much yarn I have, I'll transition it out, use the rest for seaming. And so it will blend better that way on my back. And then I won't have to look at it. So it's like it never happened after it gets done. The second thing I'm knitting, because you know I always have at least 2 things going at once, is the Sandness by I think it's Grundon Johnson. I never say people's names right. I apologize. This was out of Brooklyn Tweed, the last one they just put out. But I think today they put out a new one, so this like before the last one. So it's totally bunched up. Sorry about that. I'm knitting this out of Becoming Art in her MCS blend merino cashmere silk in the December colorway in a highly variegated colorway. I took a chance. So last time we talked, I had the center panel done, and this is a Shetland shawl where you knit the center panel, and then I went ahead, I picked up my yarn over loops here. See if I can get a bit closer there, and I started to work the border out. I am not even halfway through the first repeat, but I am starting it. I worked a little bit on it tonight, in between canning fish, canning tuna, and I really didn't want to start my sleeve. I just wanted to work on something established for a little bit while I waited for the 90 minutes for the time to be up. So I really do like it. I really like the yarn base. It's really, really nice. I'm a little fearful because it's so highly variegated. You're really not going to be able to see a lot of the pattern detail in the border. It's a very simplistic border, so I'm hoping when I block it out, you know, you're just going to basically be able to see, I think, garter ridges with waves, which is okay. I knew that going in, that it was a chance and that it's not going to be, you know, really a huge standout. More what's going to stand out is the variegation in the yarn. But I like the colorway, so I'm going to go with it. It'll look fabulous with jeans. So that's what I'm working on. Moving right along this week to enabling. So last week I talked about going on a no-buy, and I will probably do so this month. After this month, I didn't buy anything in August, and then September rolled around and there was Labor Day sales, which I fell down on, and I thought, well, I'll just partake in the Labor Day sales because at the end of this month there is a local fiber festival about 2.5 hours away that I was planning on going to, and I really want to go, but I just learned my husband was out of town, so I was like, now I'm really glad that I indulged in Labor Day sales because I don't get to go. But this should be it, except I'm contemplating a very large purchase, and if I get that large purchase, then that will really be it. Then I'll go on my no-buy. So, the first thing I got actually is a present for my daughter, but it's so cute I have to show you, and it's the first bag that I've got from Absolute Wonder. So I got this from Absolute Wonder. Isn't it cute? Look at the little princesses. It's good. A dragon. I'll show you the other side. Look at, with all the little princesses. We travel quite a bit, or at least do day excursions on the boat, or we go hiking and something else. Whenever we go somewhere, we put the toys that she wants to play with for that day in a bag. And she, you know, I have a bag for every knitting project. As you guys well know, I'm a little bit addicted. And so she's starting to really want to be like Mama and have a bag, which is super cute. So I bought her a bag for her birthday, which is in October. And I just want to show you guys the interior. I turned it inside out. The interior is trees with little castles. And they do have a pocket on each side that match. And then the side you have these smaller pockets, which would be perfect for your needles to stick them down in there so you don't lose them if you have double points possibly, or your yarn doesn't, your stitches don't jump off your needles. So I really like it. It's super well made. It's lined. I think it feels like it has like a light interface in it as well. I know it would stand up if I was going to knit out of it perfectly. And the other thing I really like is that the ties are fabric. Fabric ties, I know they seem like a little bit of a detail, but they are a pain in the butt, and they're much more expensive to make than the other ties that typically come on a bag. So it's a lovely bag. I really like it a lot. Her quality is great, and I will definitely be checking her out again. Shipping was great. It came wrapped with a stitch marker. So wonderful. I'll get that put away in her gift bin. Then the Labor Day sale stuff. So there was 2 sales that I partaked in, and there's going to be bags, and I apologize for the extra sounds, the crinkling. But Squish Fiber Arts, which I have talked about before, had a lot of her stuff was like 20 or 30% off, so it was a really good deal. And so there was a few things that I was looking at, and this is something I have put in my cart 3 or 4 times at least. That's the first side. It is a one-off colorway for her. She has quite a bit of those, and it's super wash merino, and I got 2 of these. So I just think they would be great. Get them up, a hat or something would be awesome. So I'm super happy with it. It's exactly what the picture showed, and it's super lovely. So I got 2 of those. And then when she had her sale, she also announced that she's going to get rid of some of her yarn bases. And one of the yarn bases that's going to go away is a base that she calls Glow. And it is a single ply, 70% superwash, merino, and 30% silk. And this is the Pacific colorway, which is just a really nice blue, dark blue. Blue is my husband's favorite color, and this is actually a pretty much a very close match to his favorite blue. And it's a fingering weight, and in one skein is 360 yards. So I got 2 of these, and what I'll probably do is make a hat. And you're like, why'd you get 2 skeins for a hat? So this is what happens for every hat that I've ever knit my husband. My husband will go somewhere with someone like fly fishing or hiking or biking or something with one of his guy friends. They'll say, man, I really like that hat. And he will give them the hat. So every single hat I've knitted him, he doesn't have it anymore. Someone else has it because they really liked it. So I know I'll knit 2 to 3 hats out of this. And he'll just come home without it. At least he's not losing it. I mean, they're really nice guys that will take care of it and everything, but we'll see. Maybe I'll make something else out of it, but I wanted to get a little bit more of this base. I have knit a sweater out of it, and it's worn really well, and I really, really like it. So I got that before it's no longer available, and it was 30% off. And then Cloud Blubber. Ooh, wow, that's really loud. Sorry. It's like ripping off a bandage. Cloud Lover also has had a sale. And I have been looking at purchasing from her for about 1.5 years and just haven't ever taken the plunge. And finally decided I'm going to try it before I go on a no-buy. So one of those people that have been on my list to try out. They've gotten really good reviews by a lot of people, and it's just time with the sale and going on a no-buy. You know, put it in the stash. So at least if I look, I say, you know what, I have some of that and I haven't spun it. At least that's what I'm telling myself. This is called Deadwood. Isn't that pretty? Super excited. It is 80% superwash merino and 20% superwash cashmere. That's one side, and then let's show you the other side. I love it. I am happier with it in person than I was in the pictures. Not to say that the pictures weren't accurate, but I think the colors weren't as depth. Didn't have as much depth in the picture. So I'm super excited. It is soft as a cloud, and we're great. So there, I got that, and I got one other thing, and then thankfully, you guys are probably saying, isn't that enough? Sorry, it's going to be a rip, like a Band-Aid. Sorry, it's so loud. And the second thing I got from her was a 75 organic Polworth and 25% mulberry silk, and it's called Blackberry Truffle, and it's different shades of purple and black with some white space in it as well. So it's lovely. Wow, it's super nice. I'll show you the other side. It's, you know what, the black, I bet you that's brown. I'm sorry, it's like 10:30 at night here, so I think it's actually brown. So purples, violet, some white space, and brown. I like it too. So there we go. Now we're on the no buy. At least for, I'm really thinking about getting a mini spinner. I know, see? But I've been thinking about it for about 1.5 years. So we'll see if I really take the plunge and do it. If I get that, I am seriously, I can't buy anything else. And you'll just have to deal with not having that much of an enabling section. And I can fill it with, you know, more rants and raves or something. I'll figure something out. So you guys don't get too bored with me. So that's all the enabling this week. I think that's enough. That's 4 braids of fiber, 2 braids of yarn in a bag. Whew. And to be honest, it's been probably almost 1.5 weeks since I recorded. So, right? Not all in 1 week. All right, so let's go to the rants and raves. So last time we talked about, I was talking about I went home and I turned 30, and let's talk about that a little bit. Super excited to turn 30. I love my birthday. I think everyone should love their birthday. And it's the one day of the year that's for you, especially after you have kids, at least in my instance. You know, Christmas is not for me. No holidays anymore. It's all about my kid, which is the way it should be. But so my birthday is really the only day that I have that it's like, I don't want to be super selfish, sound like that, you know, and be like, oh, it's all about me. But it's like, I can say that day, you know what? I'm not going to clean the toilet today. I'm going to sit in it because it's my birthday. And typically I go home to Michigan on my birthday. I really like to spend it at home with my family. And so since I was turning 30 this year, my sisters and I all got together, and it was fabulous. I have 3 sisters, and I am the youngest. I'm the baby of the family, and we are all in different places now. And we hadn't all been together in over 2 years. And so it was just really a great birthday present to see all my sisters and be with them. We're a close-knit family, and I'm very lucky. I love them a lot, and they love me, and there's something with getting with my sisters. Just like I would think if you had a really great friend your whole life. You know, there's really no expectations. There's no pressure. You just get to be you and have a good time. And I had a great time. We spent the night away from home on an island called Mackinac Island. And one of the things when you live somewhere that's kind of a tourist destination, you kind of now don't go to the tourist stuff. At least we never did. You know, we never spent the money and did it. And so for the first time in my life, I went to the island and spent the night. Now I've been to the island, I don't know, a handful of times, 6 times, 7 times in my whole life. But I've never spent the night. And it was so much fun. And the next day we got up and we had breakfast and we shopped, and I don't know, it was the best birthday I've ever had. And I got to spend it with the people I love the most. And then when I got home, I got to see my husband and spend the rest of the day with my parents and my kid. And it was just fabulous. So happiness to everyone for your birthday when you have it this year. And, you know, just, I don't know, I was not scared to turn 30. I just tried to embrace it. Everyone that I work with was like, oh my gosh, it's so depressing, and, you know, how are you going to handle it? And I'm like, heck, man, if I'm worried about 30, I don't know what the rest of my life's going to be like. 30 is, I don't know. I don't want to say it's the new 20, because people will say 40 is the new 20, but you just have to move forward. You can't change your age. You might as well just embrace it and try to make each year the best year that it can be. Okay. So now I have something funny. So I was telling this to my mom. I didn't realize how funny it was until I actually told the story. But every day I go pick up my daughter at daycare. And there was a guy that's an electrician, and he's got, you know, what we call a raper van. That's really probably inappropriate, but it's a van that has no windows. So I was always like, stay away from that van. It's got no windows. No one would know you're on the inside. And it's white, and it's like a classic electrician's, like, or construction big old van. And the guy's really short, which will come in play in a second. He's under 5 foot. He is short. And the door is open, and sitting in the passenger seat is his new girlfriend. And I park across the street and I walk in front. But it's like, you know, I'm like, whatever you're doing in that van, you're doing in that van. I don't care. Like, the door's open, you can hear rustling around, and I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm like beelining it in, okay? And all of a sudden, he like pops out. Like, the only thing I could think is immediately after it happened, like one of the Oompa Loompas on Willy Wonka, like, just pops out. So awful. So anyways, he pops out. And he's like, hey, because he doesn't know my name. And I turn around and I'm like, only one on the street, so it must be me. How can I help you? And he's like, did you just see my butt? Now let's pause here. what would be the appropriate response if I had seen it? Like, yes, it was very small. Yes, it was amazing experience of my life. Like, what did he want me to say if I had seen it? So wouldn't it have been more appropriate just to leave me alone and so I could try to erase it from my memory? But oh no, let's call it to attention. Are you joking me? And guy, I see you all the time. I see your kids every day. I don't want to actually process if I had seen it. So I turned around. So the only thing that I could say, even if I had seen it, which I didn't, thank the Lord, was like, no. So he turns to his girlfriend. He's like, see, I told you she couldn't see anything. I was just changing in the truck or the van or whatever. And I just walked in the whole time. And I think sometimes in life, you look at the people around you and you think, am I really that different? Am I really crazy to think, would have never asked that question? Because if someone would have seen my butt, I would have never wanted to know they have seen my butt. And now I hope I don't get to see him for a while. But I saw him around town actually this weekend and I was mortified. He's a boy. He probably will never think about it ever again. Mortified me. But, you know, he's like, oh, whatever. You didn't see it. We're all good. All right, you guys. That's all I got. I'll try to scrape up something better for next week. That, and unless you want to hear about me canning tuna, it's delicious when it's done. It's not too bad. I am home, you know, Betty homemaker, at least this week. So you guys, I will try to knit away and have some more progress for you next week. I hope you guys just have an enjoyable day every single day and you really knit with some love. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.